All right, y'all, we're gonna make a Popeye's chicken sandwich at home today. We gotta start with our marinade, which will be 2 cups of buttermilk. And we're gonna throw 2 teaspoons of chipotle pepper. You can use any kind of pepper powder in there. Some people say you should do serrano powder, but you can do chili powder, any kind of powder. Chili powder you want. And then we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of garlic powder as well in there. And we're going to do a couple teaspoons of kosher salt as well. Get all that mixed. And we're going to whisk that all together before we pour it on top of our chicken. All right, now that we got that nice and whisked together, we're gonna pour that over our chicken. We have 4 chicken thighs here. Just gonna let it marinate in those. Get your spatula, don't lose any of that. All right. So we wanna let this marinate for at least 1 hour. You can go up to 24 hours. So we're gonna throw this in the fridge and let it marinate for 1 hour at least. All right, we've let that marinate for several hours. That should be really good. Before we go to the next step, we need to make our flour breading dredge mixture. So we're gonna put in about 3 cups of flour, about 2.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, about 2.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika, a couple teaspoons of black pepper, kosher salt. Go ahead and get that mixed all together. Get that a little nice and mixed in with your finger. And let's go ahead and toss our chicken thighs in with the flour. So just give it a good, generous toss. We got our 4th and final guy right here. All right, now we're gonna throw it into our cast iron skillet. You don't want the heat too high. You want to be somewhat of a safe temperature. As you can see, I'm covering my arm just to be safe here. You want it about to where half the chicken is covered at least. Give it a good flip. Be careful when you're flipping. We're dealing with a lot of oil right here, but look how golden, beautiful brown that is. Look at that beautiful golden brown. Ooh, baby. While that's finishing up frying, we're gonna make our special Popeye's mayonnaise. Throw a few tablespoons of mayonnaise in here. It depends on how much mayonnaise you want. We're gonna throw in some smoked paprika, garlic paste, about a teaspoon's worth. About half a teaspoon of brown sugar, about a teaspoon worth of hot sauce, that's right, kosher salt, and then some lemon juice. Let's go ahead and get all that stirred together to make our special Popeye's mayonnaise. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get our bun ready because it's about to start frying. All right, once we have this at an internal temp of 165, look how beautiful that is. Just look at that. Go ahead and now, usually it has a pickle, but we don't do much pickles in this house. Isn't that right, sweetie?
Bet.
And got ourselves an at-home Popeyes chicken sandwich. Should I try it now or should I let it cool down?
Maybe let it cool down. Don't burn your mouth. It looks so good though.
All right, moment of truth. Let's see how it is. Whoa. Dang. I've had the Popeyes chicken sandwich. This is better. It's not because I made it. I didn't come up with this recipe. This legit is better. Y'all should try it at home. I'm not even playing. All right, y'all, we're gonna make a Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. Start with some shredded potatoes, also known as hash browns. Throw them in there. It's about 32 ounces of shredded hash browns in there. And then we got a chopped up onion. If you got a small onion, chop up the whole thing. If you got a big one, chop up about half of it and throw it on in there. And we got 1 stick of melted butter that we're gonna drizzle up over there. Or if you want the measurement, that's half a cup of melted butter for you type A personalities out there. All right, then we're gonna have 16 ounces of sour cream. Just plop that in there. If it doesn't come out, get your spatula here and just scrape it. Come on, baby. There we go. Got the last little bit out. So we got our sour cream in there. Next, we want to take a can of cream of chicken soup. Come on. Nice plop there. Scrape that baby too. We don't like wasting around here. And then finally, got some cheese that I shredded up. None of that bagged stuff up in here. We shredded ourselves. Put that in there. Save about half a cup's worth for that end part. And then we're gonna put just a little bit of black pepper, kind of to your taste, whatever you're feeling. We wanna mix all that up together. Get that good mix. Make sure it's distributed well throughout. Okay, now that we have that nice and mixed, we're gonna put it here in our 13x9 greased baking dish. Get it all in there. Woo, buddy. What y'all thinking about this one? Also, what's your go-to order at Cracker Barrel? Mine's the Grandpa's Country Fried Breakfast, personally. And then finally, take that little bit of cheese that we had left over, sprinkle it over the top. Get it nice and evenly distributed. Cheese inside and out. There. All right, y'all. So we got the oven preheated to 350. We're gonna put it in there for 45 to 55 minutes. And we'll come back and check on it, see what we're working with. All right, let's check out this hash brown casserole. Ooh, baby, that thing is bubbling. Wow. Wow, it really does remind me of the Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. Man. Yeah, get a nice view of that. Woo! All right, y'all, I'm gonna let this stop bubbling in a minute and we're gonna try this thing. All right, let's try this baby. Man, this looks good. Ooh, get a look at that. Straight out of Cracker Barrel, y'all. Okay. Oh, I don't want to burn my mouth. It's hotter than I thought it was still. Mmm. Whoa. I might even say this is better than the Cracker Barrel one. I can't believe I'm saying that because I've loved that since I was a kid, but I'm not lying, y'all. This is good stuff. You gotta try it. All right, I'm gonna make some chicken bacon ranch pasta salad. This was one of y'all's top votes from this past week, so we gotta make it. We start with 12 ounces of rotini tricolor. We're gonna add in 1 large chopped tomato and the main ingredients: chicken. We got 2 chicken breasts that I cut up, and 16 ounces of bacon. Going heavy on the bacon in this because that's what I like. I cooked it and chopped it up myself because I just like freshly cooked bacon rather than the pre-cooked stuff. But if you don't have time, get some pre-cooked. And then we have 5 ounces of sliced olives. If you don't like olives, just leave that part out. I know some people aren't into them, like my wife. And then we have 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese that we're gonna throw in there. Okay, once we have all these dry ingredients, let's go ahead and get that kind of mixed together a little bit. All right, now that we have that, we're gonna come over here and make our dressing. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of mayonnaise. I use Duke's mayonnaise because that's what I was raised on. That's what my Mima raised me to eat, and that's what we do in our house. What mayonnaise do y'all do? I'm from South Carolina, and Duke's is like a big thing. So we live on Duke's down there. So we got our 1 cup of mayonnaise. We're gonna put some pepper in there and some garlic powder. I like it pretty garlicky. And we're gonna put in 3 tablespoons worth of ranch dry seasoning. So go ahead and get that kind of mixed together. And then we're gonna throw in 1/2 cup of milk in as well. And you want to get that mixed together. If it helps, get you a whisk. Kind of whisk it around for a minute. And then once you have that nice and whisked together and smooth, we're going to pour it back into our dry ingredients. All right. So just go ahead and pour that on in there. Take your spatula so you don't waste any of this good stuff. In case you make this and it's feeling like a little dry with the amount of ingredients you have, you can always just add a little bit more milk in. So just keep that in mind if you want to try this at home. So once you have the dressing in there, go ahead and just get it nice and mixed in. So got that wetness touching all the parts of it. All right, y'all, now that we have that mixed together, we're gonna actually put it in the fridge for 1 hour, and then we'll come back and try it. So you wanna, after you make it, put it in the fridge for at least 1 hour, cover it up, and then we'll go back and try it. All right, now that you've had it in there for 1 hour or more, it's time to try it. Perfect side. Make sure I get a little chicken and ranch and bacon, the whole thing. Why am I blowing on? I'm so used to, I cook so much, I'm used to blowing on food. I don't have to blow on this one. Mmm. Y'all, this is amazing. All right, my mouth's full. Great side dish. If you're looking for a side dish idea for a get together for Thanksgiving, Christmas, try it. All right, y'all, we're gonna make a cheeseburger casserole. We're gonna start with 3 baked potatoes that I cut into rounds. It's gonna go over the bottom of our 13 by 9 baking dish. Boom. All right, we got our bottom layer there. Next, we want to add a layer of cheese. We don't want to use all this cheese. You just want to do about maybe half a cup's worth, because the main layer is going to go on top. But you do want to get this bottom layer on there to get the full effect of this cheesy goodness. A little bit more. All right, now that we have the bottom layer of cheese, we're going to put our ground beef over the top of our cheese layer. Make sure it's distributed nice and evenly for our cheeseburger casserole. Just get it nice and spread around. All right, perfect. That was about 1.25 pounds of beef. Next, we got our cream of mushroom soup that we're going to put in as our next layer. This is one of those layered casseroles. Make sure it's nice and scraped out, y'all. So just spread that over the top of the meat as best you can. This thing don't have to be pretty, it's about being tasty. Also, I seasoned the meat with garlic powder, paprika, and a couple other things that I can't remember right now. Oh yeah, salt and pepper. So we got that nice and seasoned up in case y'all are like, he didn't even season the meat. I did season the meat. I seasoned it well. Okay, now that we have that spread over the top, we'll go to our next tasty layer. I sauteed an onion, red pepper, and some minced garlic. And I sauteed it in the beef grease. And I highly recommend doing the same. Get some of that beef flavor in there. Okay, we got all that on there. Get that nice and spread over the top as best you can. Like I said, it ain't gotta be pretty. It's just getting all the flavors mixed in there together. All right, we got that nice and mixed in there. And this was not part of the recipe, but me personally, I want to add a little bit of garlic salt. Just add a little bit of extra seasoning over the top. Season as you cook, y'all. All right, now that we got that, finally, we're gonna add our final amount of cheese over the top of this. This is freshly grated cheddar cheese. I suggest, if you want it to melt real good, I would suggest grating your own cheese and not doing the bagged stuff. It just melts a lot better. But if you don't have time and want to get some bagged stuff, cool, it'll still taste great. It'll just taste a little bit better with that grated cheese. All right, y'all, so we got the oven preheated to 350. We're gonna put it in there for 35 to 40 minutes. 35 to 40 minutes, y'all, should be ready. All right, let's check out this cheeseburger casserole. Ooh, that is looking tasty. What you think, Rain?
That looks pretty good.
Oh my goodness. Just smells so good too. I gotta try this while it's still hot. Let's see here. I'm gonna go right in here. Get those potatoes on the bottom. Oh yeah. It ain't gonna be pretty, it's just gonna taste real good. Look at that. Y'all, you gotta try this. Oh man, this looks so good. Man, that is bubbling. Mmm. Y'all, this is one of the best things I have made on this page. Highly recommend y'all gotta try this for real. For the sake of your family, your loved ones. I'm saying, tell a friend about this one. Take your Doritos, put it in your food processor. Make sure you have some sort of device, stuff them down in there, give them a nice crush. Go ahead and lock that baby in. And pulse. Looking pretty fine. Once you got them nice and chopped up, take this guy out. Safety first. Let's put it in our bowl. We'll come back to this in a second. Then you want to take 2 eggs, put them in a bowl. And beat them up. All right, we get that nice and beaten up. So let's bring our chicken in and just give it a nice salt and pepper real quick. We're gonna take the chicken and roll it in our egg that we just beat. And we're gonna take those Doritos that we had and get them nice and coated. Look at that. That's why you don't want to just throw a bunch of Doritos on a chicken. You need that egg coating first. All right, so take your tenders, start putting them down there. You want to do it about 8 to 10 minutes. Flip it about halfway through. Perfect fit. Come back in 8 to 10 minutes. Let's check on these Dorito puppies. Look at that. I think I'm gonna let you try this, Rain.
Those are pretty good.
That one's looking real good.
It's hot, but this is actually really good.
Right? I guess, yeah, I should have let it cool down.
The Dorito makes it actually taste like a ranchy barbecue. Like it adds to the ranch is a great addition.
Hey, success.
Really
Give it a blow and then try it again. I want to get you to taste it without it super hot.
Without burning my taste buds. Let's see. All right, I usually don't double dip, but.
Sorry, that'll be just yours.
That's really good. You guys got to try this at home. I feel like the kids would love this. Tell them they're eating Doritos for dinner.
Oh man, I would have loved this as a kid.